Fellow traders, 'tis I, TheRumpledOne, coming to you on Friday, September the 12th. The year is 2025. Let's talk trading. Weekly wrap-up. These videos are for educational purposes only. Your results may differ from mine. And remember, even on the last trading day of the week, make sure your risk management is in place so you never lose more than you're willing to lose on any one single trade or during any one trading session. So let's go ahead and take a look and see what's happening this week as we're wrapping it up. I see we have a couple of pairs that did not fill the gap. The Australian yen and the New Zealand yen. Both of those yen pairs did not fill the weekly open gap. Right now, we can see that the pound dollar is 59 pips over the weekly open, 31 off the high and 77 off the low. And we did have some red news today. If we zoom out to the monthly, 66 pips above the monthly open, 30 off the high, 227 off the low. Notice that we are above the opening range for the week and the opening range for the month. We actually dipped into both those ranges and then price reversed out. And for the year, 1,049 pips above the yearly open, 229 off the yearly high, and 1461 off the yearly low. We had an inside bar 14 days ago. We're above that high. And we had a weekly inside bar 2 weeks ago, and we're also above that high. So once again, these horizontal lines can be profitable. But once again, it's how you trade it. We had red news today, but no pairs are over 100 pips in range. I guess people must, maybe the traders wanted to go fishing or hiking or something to get an early start this weekend. That's kind of incredible. And especially look at the range on the dollar Canadian. They had red news, and it's only 32 pips. Oh, what's going on? Oh, let's see here. We crisscrossed the daily open a couple of times. Notice we are going to finish the week, looks like above the weekly open. And right now we're sitting in the sell zone. It was funny. I took a trade. I guess I was still asleep on that red news. I should have gone long and I went short. I was thinking that that news is going to be bad. So for some strange reason, you have to kind of flip things. If it's bad for the dollar, it's good for the pound. So I should have bought the pound. I shorted it. So then it ran against me. And so what I did was I followed what Walmart likes to do. He just takes every flip-flop box. So every flip-flop box, I would take the short. And it ran against me. I think it ran against me the first 4 trades I had, but I just kept taking it. I think I wound up with a total of 6 trades, and I got out and I made 5 pips. So it just shows, once again, it's not what you trade, it's how you trade it. And sometimes you just keep taking your signals. And I was kind of kicking myself because price came down to all but one, or below all but one of my trades, but I got out just as price was giving me a chance to get out with the profit. Notice we came out of the rat zone here. We just came out again. So that 60 line looks like it might be holding, even though that's really not a psychological. Bambino Flex said to go long at or near the pivot, and the pivot trading plan said to go long at or near the pivot. Actually, Bambino Flex doesn't really say to go long at the pivot. That's my mistake. What it's saying is there's a good chance that it's going to hit yesterday's high. Is really what the Bambino Flex indicator is saying. Because see, yesterday's high is below R1 and yesterday's low is below S1. So chances are usually R1 or S1 get hit. And that's pretty much based on statistics. Does it work every time? Of course not. This is trading. Notice we also crisscrossed that the open here, the daily open. So once again, that horizontal line can be traded profitably. And we took out that pivot today. We missed the pivot this week. So we've got 4 weekly or missed weekly pivots here in 2025. But we did take out the month. You see, we only have 1 monthly pivot that's been missed this year. You can see in and out of that upper wick zone. And the percentages here closing outside slightly increasing. Usually it's a little bit right around 70%, but we're up to 81 now over the last 60 days. So for the week, this weekly range is pathetic. Last 12 weeks, we're in the 0 percentile with only 108 pips of range. We did break out of the previous week's high by 36 pips. We did not break out of the previous week's low. Remember, last week was an outside bar. This is going to be a higher bar this time. High minus close for the red rats, 31. Close minus low, 77 for the green rats. And for the weekly open crossover traders, 90 pips high minus open and 18 pips open minus low. And looking at price action right now, you can see indicator 2 is aqua, but price is coming back towards indicator 2 at the moment. See right here, M30. And actually, if we pop it to M5, you can see we cross below indicator 2, M1. We crossed that open, tried to get back to it on this last half hour, but didn't quite make it. And that's an inside bar. See, we had an outside bar here, a nice break to the north. Nice trading ranges past 3 M30 candles here. Definitely pick up some pips. We had a highest low trigger right here. I think this, I don't, trying to see if that was one of the ones I took. I think I took mine up here. There was a flip-flop here, a flip-flop here, and a flip-flop here, and another flip-flop here. Whoops, not time to wrap up yet. Once again, just looking at the slope of the EMA to give you an idea of directional bias. So we have not pushed the year-to-date accumulated range this month. And let's see, so far we're at 257 pips. And if we look at the ATR percent, we're only at 53. We still have 2 whole trading weeks left, so we might be able to push that up. And just so you know, if you held on since the open, you'd be up 8.37%, which is not a bad return on the money. Remember, back in June, you could have punched out at 10%. But we're traders, we're not investors. So for the week, we've got or for the day, rather, let's go take a look at the month and bring it on down. Okay, we're inside that upper wick zone on the month, looking at the trade reminder report. Buyers strong control. We're above the previous mid and above the pivot, and we've got a lower high, higher low, inside bar in the month so far. For the week, we are slightly above the upper wick zone. You know, now that I look at this, I should maybe put how many pips. Price is turning up, buyer strong control, above the previous mid, and fade the pivot sell on the week. But with buyer strong control, you probably wouldn't want to fade the pivot. Sometimes these simple little things can clue you in on what to do, and kind of reminds me, maybe go over that trade that I messed up on. There was a couple other clues, but I was barely awake. In fact, Walmart called. He says, "Hey, what's going on?" And I said, "Yeah, I'm just now getting up. I woke up something like 2 o'clock this morning, and so that's 5 o'clock New York time. So by the time it was 5 o'clock my time, 8 o'clock New York time, I was back in the Z land." So let's see here. We're looking at the daily here. Previous bar was an outside bar on the day. Prices between the wick zones at the moment. Buyers weak control. And that's about it. So yeah, that trade. There was a couple other things. I don't know if we can see it. Let's see which chart would have it. Yeah, it's right here. See, I saw that this candle was a bearish candle. That should have been another reason to go long. And like I said, I just blew it. I it's the candle before the news candle, it just seems that it will almost always close the opposite direction that price is going to go. At least seems to be based on observation statistics. So if you want to quote unquote gamble, place your bet right before it opens, and which is what I did. But um, I was looking at a indicator 2 was down, or magenta. That's indicating the short bias, and I just misinterpreted the news, thinking, it's going to be bad for the U.S., so I should sell. It's like, no, if it's bad for the U.S., you should buy the pound, but you sell the yen. And since I wasn't trading the yen, I got that flip flopped. So I guess one of the things I should do is write a 3x5 card or something and make a little checklist and go, okay, um, here's what you need to know. Actually, I could even make a training wheels indicator or something, or put it on the my notes. Like